Hey friends, how's it going? I'm super excited. We got a package in the mail. Bought some power saws from a fella out west. I've wanted some of these for quite a while. I'm super excited. Got my Wolf Creek Saw Shop hat on. What can go wrong? Let's go check it out. I pulled them out of the box already. These are going to be fun projects. Barn Fresh. What do we have? I have wanted these for quite a while. We have a pair of Pioneer 3270s. This is an SC. This is a 3270 automatic. These are what Pioneer sold. So let me get this on its side here. These are what Pioneer sold before the P series. Okay, these are old school, vintage 1970s, late 60s into the 70s power saws. Let's compare them to a P series and see where the lineage of the P series came from. Pioneers are Canadian saws. I really like them. I've been scooping them up here and there, and when I got offered these, I was like, oh yeah, Rogan, thank you, buddy. I'm gonna grab a P series and let's compare it. Okay, I grabbed one of my P41s. This one's minty, thoroughly blown up, but minty. I just ordered some parts for this saw. I'm itching to build a ported P41 for the Tinman. As I go through my power saw journey, friends, I like the older saws. I just do. They're just fun. I really enjoy working on them. I enjoy porting them. So that's what we're going to do coming up. Here is a P41, okay? I'm going to put these saws kind of side by each here. Okay, so here's your 3270, 1970s. Then we get into the late 70s, early 80s. They are very similar in layout. Of course, no operator presence lever. They went to that. Get your fast idle here. Okay, on off switch. This saw has a manual oiler. Okay, manual oiler. I think it also has an automatic oiler. I'm not sure, but I think, because this is the earlier model and it says 3270 automatic, and it also has the manual oiler. Okay, but if you look at the general layout, air filter, carb box, same kind of idea here. These usually have the full wrap on them. It seems to be just the way they come. This old one is the same way. But as you guys can see, you can kind of see the lineage of Pioneer. These are all reed saws. I like the reed saws for porting. Yeah, anyways, let's dig into these, friends. I want to talk about these 3270s. Not a super common saw, and anytime I get something weird here, I'm going to show it because I think it's important to pass on the knowledge. Maybe you have one of these. Let's talk about them and compare the two models, the 3270 and the 3270 SC. I'll give you guys the specs and all that. I went on the Mike Akers site and I wrote down a few notes so that I can let you guys know a little bit more about these. Okay, friends, I want to take a second. Rogan, thank you, buddy. Rogan's from BC. I can't remember the exact spot. I guess these were in a shed. A bunch of old power saws. They've been sitting around for years, and he sent us that beautiful full wrapped P41 a few weeks back, and he said, you know, there's a bunch more power saws there if you're interested. And I thought, sure. So when I saw these in the pile, I knew what they were right away, and I was all over them. So Rogan, thank you for giving me the chance, and of course the chance to show this on the channel. Without folks like you out there, buddy, you know, it's so nice that people want to see saws on this channel and are willing to help out. It makes me feel good. So Rogan, thanks for giving me the chance at these. I really appreciate it, buddy. We got a couple more coming in the mail. They were late for whatever reason. The shipment kind of got broken up, so when we get those, we'll unbox those too. But these are the two that I was most giggly over. Okay, so let's start with this one. This one's extra crusty. It's awesome. And I think this is going to be a runner, friends. I don't know if you can get parts for these, but we got 3 of them. So between the 3 of them, we should be able to make something happen with these. But from what I can tell, this one thumps pretty good. This one thumps more, but okay. So this is a 3270 automatic. I'll bring you guys in here. 3270 automatic. These were built 1969 to 1972. Okay, this saw has points. Look at the muffler. How cool is that? I know, eh? Okay, 1969 and 1972. Look at that saw. Got nice bucking spikes on it. Full rappy dappy. Now this is a rigid mount saw, no anti-vibe. Now these are kind of neat. The filter mount's broken. No problem though, because Rogan, being the good guy that he is. Here, friends. So I open up the box. He sent a separate box. This looks like all the spares that were there. We got a spare muffler. Look at that. Okay. You stick your finger in there. Okay, we got all kinds of spare parts, spare filter mount, reed block for one of these, steel reed. You can see it's leaking there, but I'll show you guys how to rectify that. Carburetor, very, very small carbs on these. That's tiny. I pulled out here's a 272 carb for reference. Okay, both Tillotsons. Both HS's. Look at the size difference, friends. 72cc, 77. Anyhow. Okay, these have a primer on them. Notice there's no choke on this early HS carburetor. Interesting, isn't it? So what you do is you pump the primer. Here's the primer mechanism. And you pump it. And that's how you got these old saws going. See, it's got extra lines here. Interesting setup. I'd like to get this saw running in stock form and run it the way it is. Pretty neat. We got some cleaning to do, but that's okay. You guys know I like them extra tasty turdy. We do the turd saws on this channel. Why? Because they're fun and you can pick these up reasonable. These saws are out there, friends, and you can find them and make a nice power saw out of it. The fun is in the tinkering. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys that. So this is the early model. This has points. Okay, 1969 and 1972. Now, as they got newer, everybody went to electronic ignition. So this is a 3270 SC. They only made these from 73 to 74, and then that was the end of that. So pretty neat. Okay, now this has this is going to be the one I want to port. This has a standard carburetor. Tillotson HS. Not sure what model it is, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to her. And in fact, I bet you, look at that. Interesting. I don't think that one of these... Oh, there we go. See, interesting. The choke is on this side. Okay. But the jets are backwards. So if you wanted to run one of these saws on this, or one of these carbs on this saw, you definitely have to build a custom linkage, flip it this way, and go that way. Okay, fuel filters on the right side. You'd probably have to flip the choke shaft. You guys have seen me do that before. I did all that on Buchan's XL76. If you haven't seen that video series, I think it's custom carb build for Buchan's XL76. I did all that. Okay, so if we need a bigger, angrier carb, which we might, because again, She's tiny. We can do that. Now, I took the liberty. Let's see what we got here, friends. Again, I'm just holding the phone in my hand. I'm too excited, and when I get excited, I gotta like, close-ups. Okay, again, look at that. That pipe's wide open. Let's see what we got here, friends. Oh yeah, we can work with that. Rogan, I think we got something here, buddy. Now again, these are like an early home light. Okay, exhaust port is on the side, transfers are up and down. And she's got compression. Let's see if we can get a look inside. Here's a look through the exhaust port with the scope. Not a lot of carbon. Quad transfer ports. Jiggly hands. We'll get her back under control. And notice thick rings on this piston. I'll show you guys what I do before I even try and fire a power saw. I start by pulling the muffler off. Now, I can usually feel if it's scored or any of that kind of stuff. But I want to make sure there's no nests in there. You never know what's made a home inside the muffler, right? So I usually do that. Sometimes they're full of rust. Rust will kill a saw real quick. So I had a buddy one time, he ported a saw and sent me a video of it running, and he was like, wow, this thing rips. And then about 20 minutes later, he pulled the muffler off and the piston was just absolutely destroyed. And looking inside, that's why those scopes, that scope that Clint sent me, Clint said, you know, I think this would be a valuable tool. And it's like, I use that scope all the time. Looking inside the muffler with a scope is not a bad idea. Okay, friends, we got the muffler back on. Okay, here's something I always do. You guys see this little vent hole here? I push down on it and see if that diaphragm moves at all. Seems to be moving. Doesn't seem to be too clicky. Well, let's give this thing a little prime of fuel. Just let me get my fuel stuff here and my priming apparatus. We'll put a shot of fuel right down the carburetor there and see if we can get this thing to start. Okay, so let's take a little mixed fuel and oil here. Okay, put a few droppers or a bunch right down there. Pull the trigger to let it in. Pull the choke. Now, next thing I'm going to do. So again, if you buy one of these and you're curious what I do to get them going, I'm going to check the jets. Lows at 3/4. We'll leave them where they are. I'll put it at 1. Could be famous last words, eh? Okay, high. High was completely off, so good thing we checked those jets. 1/2. 1. Okay, choke's on. Really, eh? In there and see if we can get this thing. Isn't that funny, friends? Apparently these saws have been sitting for a long time. Choke back on. Now we flooded it probably. Take the choke off. These old power saws just amaze me. Okay. Well, I'm going to turn. You see the idle on these? It's actually pretty neat. It's one of the, I think it's the only saw I know of. It's just a little screw that pushes on throttle. Okay. I'm going to put some fuel in this and let's give her a go. Let's see if she runs. Maybe that one runs too, who knows. Okay, well, the fuel line, I checked the fuel line. It doesn't, I mean, it's stiff, but it's not horrible, actually. Let's put some fuel in this thing. Doesn't smell too bad in there. Well then. Oh, she's... You know that smell when a motor's been sitting for a long time? Let's give her a little more of that. Let's see if we can keep her going. Interesting. Just see if I can get any adjustment out of the low jet. It doesn't seem to be adjusting. Hi, babe. Should we keep going, friends? You want to pull this carburetor off? I kind of do. I wonder if that one will fire. Well then. Can you guys tell that I like power saws? I like things with motors. I really do. This one looks a little more angry than that one. She's farm fresh, as we call her here. Well, that's a good sign, friends. I bet you if we put a carb kit in that, it'll run. Maybe. Depends. Maybe the reeds aren't opening. Maybe they're stuck open. All the good fun of old power saws. Let's see the jets on this one. One turn on the low. One turn on the high. Now, I am not sure about this priming apparatus. So, we'll use the Tinman primer here. These things are so cool. So cool. Okay. Forward. I guess this is how we find out. We'll know if these points are working, won't we, friends? Okay. Are you ready? Oh, this one's got uber compression. Really? Really? Well, let's put a little splash of fuel in the old, let's see if we can get this fuel cap off. Whoa. Note to self, replace fuel line and filter. Let's give her a go, friends. I'm in the mood. You guys got time? I think you guys do. Okay. This is the last of my mixed fuel. I'll mix them up tomorrow. I got enough to. Okay. Yeah, as long as that filter's sitting in there. This one's going to take some more work, but okay. Tinman primer. Pull trigger. What do we got here? I don't even know if this still works. I guess if we pump it enough times and we get fuel in this line, we'll know. Okay, ready, friends? Come on. This fast idle is seized. Well, we know we got spark. Hold on, friends. This thing's... I just got the stitches out of my hand there. I sliced her at work, and my buddy's a safety guy. He's like, I told you to wear those cut-proof gloves, which I never do for many reasons. Okay. Let's see if you guys can see this. Okay. Okay, friends. I don't think this one's going to get fuel. Okay. Probably just flooded the crud out of her. Ooh. Duke. Pull trigger. Ready? Okay. I'm going to get this thing running, and I'm going to go shoot. Ready? Okay. We'll drop in there. Pull trigger. Get it preloaded. Okay. Oh. I never was known for my speed, that's for darn sure. Well, friends, I don't think we're going to waste too much more time on this one. We'll take her apart. Yeah. If I had a second set of hands, I would, well, I would grow a set if I could. Just having 4 hands as a tin basher, let me tell you, that would be wicked. But this thing's probably going to need fuel lines. And this primer... See, friends, it comes here. Sorry, it comes through here. There's a pickup, and the line comes through. It goes around here into here, and it's like this thing is bone dry. Okay, it's now what we could do. Here's where I like Pioneers 2-piece fuel line. Piece tag on. If I can get it in there. Again, the sausage fingers are always working against me. The dreaded sausage fingery. It's genetic. My grandfather had sausage fingers. My father did. My brother does. I do. It's a thing. Sausage fingeritis affects certain people. Okay. And yes, I use offset snips from work, because again, the Tinman, these things are embedded in my hand 24/7. So I feel better using them. Okay. See if I can get this on here. Now, it makes a guy wonder. I don't even know if this is working. Well, if that didn't prime it, let's do this again. Okay. Okay, we will save that one for another day. Let's get back to this one. Look at the color of the stuff that came out of the carb. Here's your, hear that? That's the sound of a dead diaphragm. Okay, that's probably why we're not getting any fuel. There's the other side. This carb's remarkably clean. It's just been sitting for a long time. And again, your little diaphragm there. Okay, when these get stiff, they don't open and close. I'm going to throw a quick carb kit in this. I wish I could remember where I bought these from. You guys asked me, and I'm not sure. I'd have to look at my notebook. But I like these carb kits because they come with 2 of these. And these fit on Max, some Home Lights, Pioneers. And you get 2 for every 1 carb kit. I'm going to wash my hands and rebuild this carb. New carburetor kit, carb is clean, so I don't know. Let's see. These old saws amaze me. Often they will run with nothing more than a $10 carb kit. Give her a little more choke. Gotta get the fuel going through. Interesting. Okay, friends, it's about an hour later. Sun's going down. I think we're gonna call her quits for the night. This thing the muffler was full of fuel. It's almost like the bottom end of this thing was full of fuel, old fuel. You could smell it. It is what it is. I put a new fuel line in it. You guys can see right here. Put a new fuel line in it. It attaches in here where that ding is. It attaches in there. You get at it through the recoil. Well, friends, we just broke the recoil on this here machine, so for that reason I'm out for tonight. It's getting dark. Just thought I'd fumble around with this thing and see. I got it to fire. It's like we flooded it so bad it just it needs to dry out for a day or two. The carburetor, what I actually think, friends, is I think the gasket behind the intake block is leaking. I don't think I'm getting impulse. When I pull the trigger, it doesn't do anything. I can see fuel in here. There's fuel on the top. Unless this carburetor's plugged. We'll deal with this another day, friends. We'll take it apart in a proper setting on the saw bench. I got a little carried away here today. But this one fires. Sorta, kinda. Anyhow, friends, sun's going down. We'll wrap this one up for the evening. Okay, Rogan, thank you. I think we have 2 runnable saws here. I'll probably have to make some gaskets for behind the intake block, stuff like that. No big deal. The the spark plug in this saw was horribly fouled. The muffler's just right full of old fuel and yeah, that stuff there. So we're gonna call her quits for tonight. Maybe I might dump straight gas. What I'll do is I'll pull the block out. I'll dump straight gas into the bottom end, rinse it around, and then dump it out. Same thing. I'm gonna really clean the gas tank. It didn't seem to have anything in it, but who knows, right? So 0 for 2 tonight, but we won't quit. You guys know how we are. Just having fun. Wanted to see if I get these running. Look at the mess I made. Anyhow, friends, Rogan, thank you, buddy. Thanks for giving me the chance to buy these. I've wanted them for a while, and I'm super happy. We're going to play with these on the channel more, friends. Once we get one running, let's take her to the wood pile and give her a little run. Either or, it could be the one with the points or without. We won't know until we get further into these, but it's nighttime, it's getting dark, and I think it's time we call her a night. That's the fun of these. You get hours and hours and hours of tinkering. That's why I like power saw building. It's a cheap hobby. You can buy, you know, old saws like this and putter with them, or you can go full on and buy new saws. But me, friends, this is where my heart's at. I would rather run this kind of stuff. It's just fun. Anyhow, friends, as always, thanks for watching. Take her easy, and I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Later.